Man, it's gorgeous out. Perfect afternoon for a little hardball. And that's what we got going on at 20th and Blake. The Rockies and Mets concluding this 4-game set. The Rockies 2 games south of 500. They're 4.5 out in the National League West. The Mets are 9 games under 500, and they're in 4th place in the East, 11 games back. That's a strut right there, all right?
It is.
That, you know,
that's
some guys jog to the mound. That's a confident strut, and now he'll pick it up and jog to the mound. Kyle Freeland will get ready to go to work against the Mets. And there's Brandon Nimmo. We've talked a lot about him. He had 6 plate appearances yesterday, and the reason I'm mentioning that is he now has enough plate appearances where he qualifies for, you know, average on-base percentage, actual titles of such. And the reason that I further mention that is he's now leading the league in slugging percentage. Nimmo will lead it off. Todd Frazier, interestingly, will bat second. Michael Conforto has swung it well in the series. Wilmer Flores, Jose Bautista getting the start. He's in left field. Kevin Plawecki behind the plate again. Jose Reyes, he was in there at shortstop yesterday. This afternoon, he'll be at second base amid Rosario back in at shortstop. He had a pinch single late last night. And Steven Matz will pitch and bat ninth. So we are set for baseball. The Rockies on this Thursday wearing the purple tops. And there's the real nice numbers for Kyle Freeland. League hitting just .247 against him. And his first pitch is a slider just off the plate, ball 1.
And it's the fastball slider mix that has been Kyle's bread and butter this year. The slider, opponents hitting just 196 against it.
And he goes slider again, or cutter.
That might be a little cutter.
Yeah, I think that was a cutter looking at the velocity at 91.
But the good thing about the cutter is most of the time guys can only command it to one side of the plate. Kyle can work it in and out.
Just off the plate, 2 balls and a strike on Nimmo.
For a young kid, Brandon has a pretty nice eye at the plate. He has a pretty well-defined strike zone.
This ball in the air to center field, pretty well hit. And Charlie leaps and makes the catch. I think that traveled a little further than he thought it would. He had a beat on it the whole way. Nimmo, we've seen in this series, has plenty of pop. Billy, you're downfield level. What did it look like?
Well, off the bat, it had that good sound. And watching Charlie Blackmon chase after it, you notice the route he had to adjust several times because I think you're right, Drew. He misjudged it. The ball did carry a lot better than he thought.
So a long out, 410 feet approximately. And here's Frazier, and he takes a fastball. Center cut for strike 1.
That's why you have to make sure your legs are loose before the game starts, just for that play.
And what you'll see if you get here early, folks, teams on day games don't go through batting practice, formal batting practice out on the field. They're doing it underneath in the cages. But one thing that happens every day, night game, day game, is about less than 10 minutes before the game will actually begin. That's when guys will get their sprint work in down the right or left field line.
Well, even for Charlie too, he'll go out to center field, that center field wall, and kind of use it as a, you know, as a brace, and he'll move his legs and try to get the legs loose and then jog back in to get him warmed up before he starts his sprints.
This ball's well hit to left field, and this one's going to get out. So Frazier hits his 8th home run, and the Mets take a 1-0 lead. I'm tired of running out those first inning numbers.
Yeah, that's 65 allowed now.
But it has been a huge issue for Colorado.
The 9th home run by a right-handed batter against Kyle, 11th overall. Subaru Supermo. That was trying to cut it in, but it ends up being belt high to Frazier. He took it out to left field.
The Mets have scored in the first inning in all 4 games in this series.
But if there's one guy that really hasn't allowed many first inning runs, it's Kyle Freeland. That's just the 4th time this year in 15 starts that he's allowed a first inning run.
And you said a few minutes ago that he'd given up a couple to the Mets in New York, and then he went ahead through shutout baseball for 6 innings. He allowed only 4 hits that day. So Kyle will shake it off on 2 hops, sharply hit to LeMahieu. DJ pauses for a moment, waits for Ian to get over to the bag. 2 outs. Let's take a look at that outstanding defense for the Rockies. Chris Arenado's got the gear on this afternoon. And then at first base, Desmond, LeMahieu, Story, and Arenado right to left in the infield. Parr is in left field, Blackman in center. And against a lefty, you know, Noel Cuevas is going to be involved. That home run for Frazier, his 183rd of what has been a very fine career. Remember when he won the home run derby?
Yes.
The All-Star game a few years ago? Flores fouls it off his leg. That's now how he wanted to start the afternoon. 2 strikes. It's Murphy's Law, because most guys now will go up with some sort of contraption to protect their ankle, their shin, and the ball, you'll hit one off your lower leg and it will hit right where it's not placed.
Above it or below it.
Right, exactly. 0-2 fouled off. Did you ever wear one?
No, I didn't. No, but even if you don't see a guy wearing one, sometimes they'll put it up underneath the pant leg and wear it that way.
Goldschmidt does that.
Yeah, Goldie does it. I was thinking that somebody else we just saw recently too did it with the Rangers.
It's fouled off. I got another one since we're talking about contraptions and protective gear. Did either one of you? I know you didn't, Huey, because the guys just didn't do it back then. And I don't remember you doing it, Spilly, where you had the elbow guard.
The only time I had the elbow guard was in Japan.
Does everybody use it over there?
Pretty much.
It's kind of smart, right?
There's
1 and 2.
It's just it takes a little bit to get used to it. I didn't like having that on my arm, but yeah, it's smart. Why wouldn't you? If there's a ball that goes inside and runs in on you, you just use your body armor.
And Batista has one that goes all the way up, protects his tricep. This is slowly hit to third. Nolan on the move, throws across. He has Flores in the inning. Todd Frazier reached the seats and left. So the Mets take a 1-0 lead. Well, the last several days, the Rockies have been en fuego when it comes to producing offense. The only time they were tamed was when Jacob deGrom was on the hill for New York, and he's pretty darn good. He throws zeros up against everybody. The Rockies getting ready to go to work offensively. Down a run on the Frazier home run. It always begins with DJ LeMahieu. DJ 2 days ago was 0 for. And we always say, as we did many times last night, that look out the next day. DJ threw out 3 hits and 5 at bats yesterday. In fact, he's a .360 hitter this year on games after he does not produce a hit.
Not surprising.
You know how many times he's gone back-to-back games without a hit this year?
5.
Spilly, you got 5. Spilly, what do you have?
Well, I saw the graphic, so I don't want to.
Okay. It has not happened. He's not gone hitless in back-to-back games this year. Oh, excuse me, one time. That doesn't count. 1-0. This ball in the air to right center field and deep, and it's off the wall. DJ heading to second, a leadoff double right out of the gate.
Going the other way too. DJ gets pitch up, elevated on the Subaru Supermo, and again drives it to right center field. He easily trots into second for a leadoff double.
The beauty of DJ's swing is that it seems like he's always under control. He's the guy that stays in the middle of the freeway, speed limit, no matter what the pitch is. It's rare that we see him overswing, and that's what allows him to control that barrel so well.
That's up and in and hits Charlie. So now there's runners at first and second for Nolan. Almost a third of the way through the lineup already. We got to check the Rockies lineup presented each day by Southwest Airlines. Nolan naturally will bat third, then Trevor at .266, leading the league in ribbies. Ian Desmond has been just tremendous the last 5-6 weeks. Chris Arenado, Gerardo Parra, second leading hitter in the National League in the month of June. Noel Cuevas, he had a couple doubles in his last start. And Kyle Freeland. Rockies yesterday, they had a base runner, at least one in every inning.
That was the 6th hit by pitch for Steven Matz this year. And now he's looking at Nolan, who took him deep at Citi Field in the first inning.
Well,
way back in May.
Nolan has 3 hits and 11 at bats against Matz. All 3 home runs.
It's nice when you have that confidence against somebody. This was a tough one, though. This one's going out to left center field pretty deep, and then dead center field last year, and then, as I mentioned, back in May, off the apple.
Yeah, took a bite out of it.
Big bite.
One ball and 2 strikes. Those 3 home runs we just showed you, none of those are cheapies, man.
Oh, that's big boy territory.
All of them. You hit the apple, Spilly, huh?
Nolan said that he crushed him. He was like, and if you remember, he thought for a second it might not even go out. He's like, man, if that doesn't go out, I've never hit a home run before. I don't know what it feels like.
And that was a little bit of an overcast, not a hot day in New York, but it was a little bit on the cool side.
This ball, deep left field, way back. He's done it again. 3-run jack. 4 hits against Max. All big flies, and the Rockies are on top 3-1. That didn't take long.
That's 49 RBIs now for Nolan. We look up again at the end of the year. He's going to have his home runs and his RBIs. Mercy. Spilly, how about this one?
It's unbelievable. 2 strikes. Nolan might just go after this inning and change Steven Matz's Wikipedia page. Put on an owner, Nolan Arenado.
Wow.
Story fouls that off. Nothing like an early afternoon bomb, huh?
After a double and a hit by pitch.
49 driven in now for Nolan.
So we've been talking about the Rockies and the amount of runs that they've allowed in the first inning, 65 now. Well, on the flip side, though, they've also scored 67 runs in the first inning.
Crazy stuff.
And they're not done yet. There's nobody out.
Guy at the plate, Story. He's driven in 17 in June. And that's whistled toward the gap. Trevor hustling towards second. And he dives in with a double.
But Trevor had a rare night last night. He was 0 for 5. He's been in a good spot. 18th double this year for Trevor. It's 38 extra base hits, second in the National League. And right out of the gate, once he hits this, he's thinking 2 all the way. Kind of a controlled dive into second on the Subaru Supremo. Well, we've been talking about Steven Matz this year, and we said it in the open how well he's pitched in his last 5 games, 2-1 with the 188. Now you know that ERA is going to go up. And he's been good out on the road too. 2-1 with the 155, but he's been rocked and taking a shot to the jaw here in the first inning. His curveball is his out pitch. That's his go-to when I want to strike guys out, when I want to get some weak contact. He hasn't thrown it yet though.
Inside on Desmond, 1-1. Desi walked 3 times yesterday. 15 home runs, 42 driven in. The Rockies have 4 guys among the home run leaders in the National League. Blackman, Arenado, Story, Desmond. 2-1.
I always felt it was such a mistake for a starting pitcher, a visiting starting pitcher, not to use the pitches that make him successful. Last night we saw with Seth Lugo shine away from the curveball. You still have to show it.
And that's what I like about what the Rockies have done, because there was a time when they really didn't want guys to throw curveballs. But now they embrace it. They say, go ahead. If that's a pitch you have, you're going to pitch here. You might as well throw it.
Spilly really makes I think, a fascinating observation. I want to ask you something, Spilly. 2-2 count on Desi. We'll wait till after this pitch. Inside 3-2. Did anybody at any time, and I mean probably after your career was over, ask you, who is still currently playing, how should I work at Coors Field from a pitcher's perspective? Because if you pass that on, that's useful information.
I've had conversations with many guys that over the last couple of years, now that I've been retired, and they've asked me, I said, you still have to be aggressive with your pitches. And I think the most important, I said, if you have a changeup, use your changeup. That's the best pitch you could possibly use, but don't be afraid of the curveball.
There's Desi. He's a walking machine now. Still nobody retired by Matz as Chris Arenado comes up. Take a look at the Mets defensively, kind of a middle-of-the-road operation defensively, though they like Rosario quite a bit at shortstop. He's made 6 errors this year, not a bad number. And Jose Reyes is over at second today. For Reyes, just his 2nd start there this year. And in 49 ball games, Reyes has made 7 errors, and he was as slick as they came when he came up defensively. So that's a pretty high number of miscues for Jose.
Well, he had that one last night that went off his wrist. And I think also, if you remember, Asdrubal Cabrera on that tag at second base came down and landed on his elbow. I'm sure that's tendered today. Mets go back home to New York after the ball game tonight, and they open up a 3-game set with the Dodgers tomorrow.
This is just the 2nd ball game that Cabrera, he may appear later on.
Yeah, sure.
But going into today, he's appeared in every game but 1. So to your point, he's an everyday guy.
Yeah, just mentioned that was his first curveball that he's thrown for Matz.
Top of the strike zone. It's 1-2 on Chris.
He went back to back with the curveballs. And I mentioned the curveball because the opposition is hitting .213 off the curveball, which is the 5th lowest on a curveball with qualifying guys this year. Watch it over there.
Chris, you know what? Leery of that curveball, had to fire late at a fastball. That's why he hit it foul down the first base line. 1-2. Nobody out, 3 runs in, 2 men on. Tried to come in at 92 and missed.
It was inside on the Subaru strike zone.
That's a 155 road ERA. He was talking about how many glowing numbers he has, but the Rockies are getting after him here in inning number 1. That's strike 3.
But he's never beaten the Rockies.
He's only pitched 1 time here, gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. Folks, a reminder, when the Rockies score 7 or more, and they've been doing it virtually every night, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. So here comes Mr. Clutch, Gerardo Parra. Spilly, how out's he been?
Unbelievable. And I just think Corey made a great, I guess, nickname for Gerardo. He called him the bridge, and he bridges the top of the lineup to the bottom, and he gives you that quality at bat in the middle to the bottom of the lineup that was necessary for this team and the offense to start scoring more runs. That's why having guys up and down the lineup that can take a professional at bat are so important to a lineup. And don't look at the numbers all the time. Don't look at batting average.
This is sharply hit, but it's going to turn into a 6-4 inning-ending double play. The Rockies began the inning trailing 1-0. Nolan Arenado quickly took care of that after a double by LeMahieu, and Charlie, who was plunked, he comes up and hits a 3-run home run to left.
The Nolan Arenado home run that traveled 387 feet. Time now for the win, brought to you by Pizza Ranch. More pin progress. Last night we saw a little bit of that. They need to continue to do it. 4 1/3 scoreless last night, and some of the guys late too. It was good to see, much needed. It's a baby step. It's not a cure-all right now, but they're building on it.
There's Yency Almonte in the bullpen. He gets in. It'll be his big league debut. Outside on Jose Batista. 2 balls and a strike. Ryan McMahon sent down today. Nothing Ryan did wrong. I mean, he had a 3-run pinch hit home run yesterday to give the Rockies a lead, but Yency Almonte visiting with Herman. And the Rockies have Herman down there. It's his bullpen day. They're going to hold it back, I'm sure, till after the ball game, just in case, because the Rockies you got to figure a couple guys down, maybe 3 guys down, and Ottavino, that's ball 4, Davis, and probably Shaw.
Yeah,
you have to protect yourself. And Buddy, in talking to the media earlier today, said, hey, it's one day, we're going to be short on the bench. He goes, we'll see what tomorrow brings, kind of alluding to another move potentially on Friday before the Marlins come in.
Yeah, for Yancey, he was scheduled to pitch today down in Albuquerque. So that's another reason. And he got the call about 10:30 last night from G. Hill. And you know, in G. Hill fashion. I said, well, how did he tell you? He said, well, he said, when Yancey answered the phone, he said, it sounds like you're asleep. He goes, well, I'm just resting because I'm starting tomorrow. He goes, well, you better pack your bag because you're going to Denver. And he's like, what? Huh? Are you sure?
That's awesome. This should be 2. Glowacki gets into the 6-4-3 double play.
76 DPs the Rockies have turned on the season.
Billy,
None easier than that one.
You know what, Spilly? You were primarily an outfielder, but in high school, I know you played some shortstop. I never get tired of watching these guys work.
It's unbelievable because they know where the timing of it is incredible, because they know where each other is at all times. And I think more importantly, when you have a feel for your second baseman, the timing, you know he's going to be in his spot. And you don't have to be perfect all the time. That's the beauty of DJ as a second baseman. There's very few second basemen that I've seen that I've played with that can turn the double play as good as DJ.
He can turn it in a variety of ways, Huey, around that bat, can't he?
And that's what's neat, because the first thing people always ask us when they haven't seen DJ play on a regular basis, they see the numbers. They say, but he's so tall. He's 6'4". How can he do it? And I just tell him, DJ's 6'4", but he plays like he's 5'10" or 5'11". You know, in football or basketball, you want to play up. I think DJ plays down, even though he's 6'4". He doesn't act like a 6'4" second baseman.
No, he's really agile. Reyes ends up popping out of the way, but it's a called strike from Adam Hamari. So it's 2-2.
Tells me he was thinking something's away, because that's not inside that much on the Subaru Supermo.
Nicely received by Chris Arenado.
These two have worked together, I think rather nicely the last 3 or 4 starts with Chris and Kyle. They've been on the same page. They have a good idea of how they want to attack the hitters.
Got a steady hand behind the plate, Chris. Been there, done that. 35 years of age. Here's another 2-2, and this one's popped up towards Spilly.
Use your hat, Spilly.
Just went out of my reach.
What is your range these days?
About 3-foot radius. It's like right in here. I am taking people stand-up paddleboarding after.
I was wondering, are you going to go ride some waves?
Nah, I mean, there's no waves here in Colorado. There's no beach here. You should know that.
Oh, look out. That's a strikeout. The bat flies into the net. Good inning for Freeland. Got a 6-4-3 double play after the walk, and then the punch out of Reyes, his first of the afternoon. Rockies 3, Mets 1, middle of 2. Rockies leading the Mets 3-1 on a 3-run home run last inning from Nolan Arenado. Noel Cuevas will lead it off 8-9-1 for the Rockies. Fans join in on the conversation. Send us your comments, your photos. Use Twitter. Include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Steven Matz. And Cuevas lines this to left center field for a base hit. I get to brag a little more on Noel. As a starter this year, today is his 20th start. He's hitting above 270 as a starter. Off the bench, he's 6 for 21, 286 average as a pinch hitter. He's done everything asked of him.
And you haven't seen that moment where he's looked like a rookie. I mean, guys will have those moments. So far, Noel, you haven't seen it.
Kyle's going to try to get a bunt down. One of the things to keep in mind today when a Story or Desmond or even a Cuevas gets on, this is a little different deal because you have the pitcher up here and Freeland's going to try to move on his own. Steven Matz, a lefty, normally really hard to run on lefties. He's allowed a dozen stolen bases this year, which is
tied with Aaron Nola.
Tied with Aaron Nola, who's a right-hander for most allowed. Now, Aaron Nola doesn't allow many base runners, period.
But when they do get on.
So Spilly, you're down there, and you're kind of a base runner there on the first base side. There's something, you stole some bases that you can pick up as to why teams are able to run on Matz.
Well, I'm going to keep a closer eye on him, but some guys, some lefties will. This might be an out for Frazier.
Oh. Heck of an effort from Todd.
Some guys are so predictable from the stretch, whether it's how they look at the base runner. It might be something as simple as, if I'm looking at you, I'm going home. If I'm looking at home, I'm picking the first. It could be something that simple. That or it's you find out that he's not a reader. So whenever he lifts his leg, he's going to home plate. He's not reading the base runner.
And Freeland fails to get the bunt down, so he's gone. A strikeout, 1 out, and that'll bring up LeMahieu. And now the possibility of straight steal or hit and run, because you got a great hit and run guy at the plate. I'm sure we'll enter the mind a little bit more here of Buddy.
1-2 for Noel. He's seen now Steven Matz for, I think, 4 or 5 pitches.
Ball 1. DJ taking a little extra time studying Stu Cole down at third. Big opening on the right side. Has hit more balls hard in the month of June than anybody else in the National League. So what constitutes that? 95 miles an hour or more off the bat. One and 2 counts, so you can eliminate the hit and run possibility. The straight steal on a 1-2 count is certainly a possibility.
What it doesn't take away from you, though, if Matz throws a curveball and he tries to really bury it, you get the secondary and take off if it's a dirt ball. That's what you always are reminding base runners right now, especially with the 1-2 count.
Dirt ball count.
Dirt ball, yeah, exactly.
DJ pops it up. Reyes can't see it. And they'll get the force out. I think that was legit.
I do too. It was, because he went on like in a turtle shell. He was really protecting his head. He turned his back.
The only thing strange about it is he never gave any indication initially that he couldn't see it.
No, because Rosario's going to be able to see it. Watch him turn his back and cover. That is not a fake. And the glasses on top of the hat do a really nice job of protecting the logo of the Mets. Oh, he put him on now.
That was weird, though. Charlie takes outside. DJ's now at first. It goes as a... Did he flip it over to Rosario or walk over himself? With 4 unassisted, Doug? Yeah, so it's 4 unassisted. Usually guys give a very early indication. I can't see the baseball.
He did
that happened late.
Well, remember Brandon Nimmo the other night? He gave it immediately. That ball went up. He said, I can't see it. And for Jose, he was bailed out because there was a base runner at first. Brandon has glasses on.
One and 2 on Charlie.
Well, just like an outfielder has to get off to the side sometimes, Reyes didn't. He was straight onto the sun. You see outfielders turn their body at a 45 to get an angle at it. He didn't do that.
You said it also. The irony is that Rosario was standing 4 feet away, and he clearly did see it also.
Yeah, he could have just said,
made
help,
the catch.
help.
Yeah. Well, it didn't hurt the Mets. They were in the same situation.
Well, that's what I said. He was bailed out because there was a base runner.
Yep. Blackman hit by a pitch in the first and scored on the 3-run jack from Nolan. Charlie yesterday hit a home run, his 14th of the year. He has scored 57 runs now, which is the most in the National League. Tommy Pham is second at 54. The Cardinals. Ozzie Albies third with 53. Goldschmidt's putting up numbers after that sluggish start, huh?
Well,
guys find their level.
Who thought it was going to last very long?
I'm sure a lot of Arizona fans were saying, what is going on? Because it lasted well over a month.
It did last longer than what you would expect from a Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, he is one of the best players in the game. This is served to center field. DJ will pause at second. Hey, Spilly, you got to love getting hits like that. You know, you beat a little bit, but you're still able to keep the hands back. And
these are the best ones because it feels like you're a hitter. I mean, you want to be able to hit every pitch right down the middle, but there's nothing better than taking away a pitcher's pitch and serving it into the outfield.
That was a Helton hit, wasn't it?
Well, that's what it feels like. You're like, I'm hitting. I was just hitting right there. That's legit hitting.
So here's Arenado, and once again they're 2 on. His good buddies DJ and Charlie. So here's what he did behind in the count his first time up.
He hit his 16th home run. They hit another home run now off of Steven Matz.
Well, he's had 4 hits, 12 at-bats against Matz, all home runs. Got us wondering, who else has he hit 4 home runs against? 2 other guys, James Shields and Chase Anderson.
Also
the 2 strikes.
The 4th time in Nolan's career that he's had home runs in 3 consecutive games, at least. The last time he did it was April in 2016. Remember he had that 6-game homer streak in 2015? I mean, that was... Every time he got up there, you're thinking, okay, here comes another one.
Matt's maybe worrying the same thing right now. 2 and 2.
Just some guys, some pitchers, you see the ball out of his hand really well, and his best pitch, if he's like Matz, likes to throw a fastball in.
This ball's well hit to right. Nimmo going back, and he can't make a play. 2 runs are going to score. Nolan to second, make it 5-1 Colorado. Pretty good when you have 5 ribbies through 2 innings.
And you're halfway to a cycle in 2 innings. You've got the home run and the double now. 51 RBIs for Nolan. Well, Steven Matz stays away to Nolan. Doesn't want to come inside. Doesn't want to be burned again. Nolan says, "I got that. I'll take it out the other way." Off the wall. Brandon Nimmo goes crashing hard into that wall. A little bit of the padding, but that's a chain link fence at the bottom of that out there. That can't feel good.
Doesn't feel good, but Nimmo's a big guy.
Story drives this one down that right field line, but it's going to twist foul.
Oh, nice catch by the fan.
Did he keep the cold one?
Yes. The cold one, hat backwards. That's right.
We see you.
Billy's going to teach me paddleboarding after the game.
That is great.
Hey, that guy's got long range too, doesn't he?
Good one too. Watch, he gives with it. Big paw, gives with it, gives with it. Nothing. Ball has nothing.
That was impressive. Well, the NBA drafts tonight, they're going to be talking about wingspan. That guy's got wingspan. That's loud the other direction. Nobody wants to catch that with their bare hand.
Not sure I would have wanted to catch that with the glove.
Yeah, right? 5-1 Rockies. 6 hits allowed by Matz. He's gotten only 5 outs.
Well, the next pitch is going to be number 50 for Steven.
If you're wondering, Nolan has 2 7-ribby games in his career. That is a distinct possibility today. And Matt's able to strike out Story to end the inning. So the Rockies with 2 outs get an opposite field double from Arenado to bring home LeMahieu and Blackman. 5-1.
Rockies thanks to a Nolan Arenado double in the bottom half of that inning. Now, over the course of the Rockies' history, it has been well documented the challenges of pitching here at Coors Field. Well, Darren Holmes, Rockies bullpen coach, was both a pitcher and now a coach here. And I talked to him about the evolution of that stigma. And here's what he says is the toughest part of what he believes it is at pitching at altitude.
You pitch in this environment and then you go to sea level. You know, and there is a change there. It was more of a change for me to go on the road than it was to come home. Come home felt normal to me. Going on the road was a little different. My breaking ball was I had a lot more depth on it. Fastball was my fastball, but my off-speed stuff was, they played a little bit different.
Now, one of the things I found interesting with my conversation with Holmes is that he said he played here with the Denver Zephyrs, and he doesn't remember really having this pitching stigma in Colorado. He said when that all came about is when the Blake Street Bombers got with the Rockies, and they started just putting up ridiculous numbers. So he kind of laughed and said, you know, I kind of blame it all on the Blake Street Bombers, Drew.
I may have a point there. On an unrelated topic, this is going to be a tough play for Nolan. He's not going to have one. Rosario runs well. So it'll be an infield hit for Rosario. Taylor, again, unrelated topic. You're forced to sit next to Spilly all day. And where are you from a sanity standpoint early on?
You know, I've had to move over a little bit, and I don't know if it's because he's just annoying or if he smells bad or what. I'm just kidding. He's fun.
No, I don't smell
sometimes.
that bad.
No, he doesn't. But I have been fanning him, trying to keep him cool. So don't ever call me a bad teammate.
You're a great teammate.
Thank you.
No, we know you're a great teammate. We're just worried about
my
concern,
sanity.
quite frankly. Yeah.
It's fine. We'll just put it that way.
We'll ask you to another 6 innings.
Yeah, in 5 innings, if she has whatever's draped on Spilly's head on her head, we know that she's lost it.
Good point.
Yeah. All right, Taylor. Quick throw to check on Rosario. Matt's at the plate.
That's just one sacrifice bunt on the year.
From Ward Melville High School out on the island.
It's your neck of the woods when you were growing up, right?
You know what? I was born on Long Island, lived there till I was 7, and then moved to Westchester County, which is north of the city. Stabbed at that, and that's foul. And this is interesting because, as Jeff was talking about when we were breaking down Matz and Freeland at the top of the broadcast, you have 2 local guys. Matz legitimately grew up a Mets fan, and he has fond memories of watching the Subway Series, Mets and Yankees in 2000. Kyle Freeland is, as everybody knows, a huge Rockies fan growing up. And there's a lot of similarity in how they've performed so far.
The records
in their careers.
Yeah, the records, their ERAs especially, just separated by just a little bit. And both of them under 4.
And Matz went right out of high school in the 2nd round. Kyle was drafted late out of high school, not by the Rockies, but he went on to the University of Evansville. Starred at Evansville for 3 years. And Kyle, I thought he was going to take a shot.
That's hustling down the line. That was wise not to, though. You know, take the out. Rosario runs well.
Especially +4 on the scoreboard.
But I like the thought from Kyle. Let me take a look. Let me take a peek. Chris is pointing to first. He's not only pointing, but he's yelling 1-1-1. Sometimes you wouldn't see that necessarily the point, but you'll hear it verbally.
And this is not a knock on the other 4 guys in the rotation, but I think Freeland's the best fielding pitcher of the Rockies group.
I would concur.
There's Brandon Nimmo. He hit a ball to deep center his first time up. This is fouled off. Charlie had to adjust and made a leaping catch as he ran into the wall. In extreme left center field. One strike on Nimmo. Freeland brought a .352 Coors Field ERA into the ball game, and that's the lowest of the 47 pitchers for the Rockies who've made at least 15 starts here. The next lowest, not a surprise, Ubaldo Jimenez. Ubaldo had a .367, and then another New York guy, Jason Marquis from Staten Island, a .375. Good pitch. 1-2.
Jason Marquis was a tough-minded guy.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't intimidated by the ballpark.
We saw Jason 2 years ago because he was getting ready to pitch for Team Israel. or try out for Team Israel. I'm trying to remember.
I think
he pitched for him.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he pitch for him?
He did well.
He was in the best shape of his life. Jason, who's always been a really good athlete, Jason looked like, you know, body beautiful when we saw him a year and a half ago.
That's another guy that can field his position. He
He
was
swing
great.
he could swing the bat too.
Swing the bat too. Might have to have Dougie look it up, but I want to say Jason Marquis, the first 8 years of his career, made it to the playoffs. He was a lucky horseshoe.
I think you're right. It was a long run. 2-2, ground ball up the middle. That's going to sneak through, and that'll bring home a run. Rosario scores. It's 5-2. Nimmo with his 25th RBI.
Seeing eye base hit. I know Kyle's going to be disappointed, but kind of gets in just a little bit to Brandon Nimmo on the Subaru Supermo. The youngster pretty strong and hits it right back up the middle for his 25th RBI. That's 20 RBIs for Nimmo in the last 28 games.
Got an on-base percentage above 400. It's an ideal fit in that leadoff role. You know what he's doing now, and he hasn't done it nearly as long as Charlie, obviously. But when Charlie was hitting leadoff in the extraordinary year he had, there's some similarities because the guy can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Hits from the left side, runs well. Similar body types. Frazier homered his first time, and now he's got a 2-0 count as that was called ball 2. Swinging bunt.
Remember, that's kind of how Rosario reached base. The swinging bunt down the line.
Freeland, the 8th overall pick in the 2014 draft. He's taken one selection after Arenado was taken by the Phils. A couple of picks before Michael Conforto of the Mets. See if the Rockies can twist this one. Out at first base. They get it done. Second double play turned by the Rockies this afternoon. The Mets do get a run as Nimmo brought home Rosario. We're going to pause here for a moment to take a look. See if the Mets are going to challenge.
We're still waiting. Nope, they're not going to. Double play, second one today, turned by the Rockies.
So we'll go to the bottom of the third with the Rockies leading 5-2. Ian Desmond looked at a pitch that was inside for a ball. Now he looks at a pitch outside for a ball. Actually, the first pitch was high to be descriptively accurate. 2-0. Desi walked his first time up. Walked 3 times last night. There's a strike from Matz. 3 in the first on a 3-run home run from Nolan Arenado. And in the second, they got a 2-run double from Arenado. 3-1. Nolan keeps this up, fellas. He's bucking to get playing time every day. And Desi with yet another walk. That's 5 walks in 2 games.
Good place. It's a good place to be, isn't it, though?
He's now reached in 15 of his last 28 plate appearances. That is a good place as well. Here's Arenado. Let's see if Desi, who's an aggressive base runner, looks to run against Matz. Fouled off again. Matz has allowed 14 stolen bases.
Desi's 7 for 9, Billy.
And I've been able to watch Steven Matz, his move to first. You understand why so many people have stolen base. It's simple. His body moves right towards first base, so it's a very easy read for a base runner. And there's not even a move, like you're not going to. There's no way to deceive a base runner, which is, I mean, every left-hander I think should be called on a balk every time they go home.
Well, the other thing too, it doesn't look like he has that step off, quick sideways fire over to first base that you worry about as a base runner.
Rockies will not see, obviously, Syndergaard in this series. He's in the Mets clubhouse a couple times over the last few days. And even though we've all seen him before doing what we do, Syndergaard is one big dude. Swung on and missed.
The Rockies saw him at Citi Field. No decision in that game.
He's aptly named, or nicknamed, Thor. 6'6", 242. He could double as a tight end for your local football team.
Remember back in the day when you heard all the rumors about Tulowitzki getting traded to the Mets? The name Syndergaard was always attached to it, and that was one of the players that the Mets refused to trade.
It's a smart decision. Mets, of course, got Noah Syndergaard from Toronto for R.A. Dickey after Dickey had won the Cy Young. This ball's lined to left field, and it's tracked down out there by Batista.
Gerardo's hit the ball hard twice today. Nothing to show for it. Fans Coors Field is a great place for group outings. Groups of 20 or more receive discounted pricing, scoreboard recognition, and much more. Call today for more information and get your group on.
Two outs. Cuevas at the plate. Sharp single to left center, his first at bat.
It was on the first pitch he saw. Again.
We were talking about a conversation we had with Keith Hernandez yesterday from the previous day. And Keith was saying that not enough guys look to fire at that first pitch fastball. This will end the inning. And Cuevas goes up with a pinch hitting mentality. He's aggressive, and it's paid off for him. We go to the 4th inning. The Rockies have a 5-2 lead. Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Splendid day in the Colorado Rockies. And the hometown baseball club has a 5-2 lead on the Mets as they come up in the top of the 4th inning. The hometown kids on the hill, Kyle Freeland with Jeff Hewson and Ryan Spilborghs and Taylor McGregor. I'm Drew Goodman. Yesterday, a crowd of over 38,000 caught the ball game. This is a terrific Thursday afternoon crowd. Michael Conforto. An 11-game Coors Field hitting streak for Conforto.
378 average in that 11-game hit streak.
His collegiate team back at the College World Series, Oregon State. Arkansas won again yesterday.
Arkansas did?
Yep.
Had some weather though in Omaha. Some of those games been delayed 4, 5, 6 hours.
When do you not have weather in Omaha during the College World Series?
Yep, you and I have taken teams out there for youth baseball tournaments, and you're scheduled for 4, but that rarely happens.
It's the 1-2 on Conforto, and that's 1 and 3. And when you get to 3, you have to leave.
Yeah, and all those on the Subaru strike zone, staying away from Conforto's power.
Second strikeout for Freeland. Wilmer Flores coming up. Let's take a look at something. The Rockies, along with Houston, the only team that's rolled out the same 5 in their rotation all year. And you'll notice that the ERAs are really high for everybody save Kyle. He's at 293. It is a stark contrast to a year ago when 4 out of the 5 actually had lower ERAs at home than on the road. And this year the converse is happening. It's obviously one of the reasons that the Rockies' home record, even though they've won a couple in a row, is still just 13 and 20. Very un-Coors Field like.
Very much so. But Kyle, growing up here, knows when he signed, he said, I can't wait to pitch here. And I think he showed it in the opening day start last year against the Dodgers. Nothing really intimidates this young man. Just turned 25.
I think, Spilly, we learned a lot the first time we watched Kyle Freeland at the big league level in that game that Huey's describing. It's what kind of kid we're talking about.
We were shocked when we saw that he was going to get the start.
And then all the things that went into that, and he said, "Hey, no problem, man."
The Dodgers home opener, Denver, Colorado kid, his backyard. I mean, first major league start, you name it.
And I think some managers would say, nah, you know what? I don't want to put a kid like that in that sort of situation.
And I think Buddy does not do anything without making many calculations and thinking it through and having discussions as sharp as anybody in the business who's on the top step of a dugout. And Buddy was right on the money. He knew the kid could handle it. 3-2, and that's outside, so Flores draws a walk. Second walk issued by Kyle. 1 out, and that'll bring up Joey Bats, Jose Bautista.
We're talking about the number of starters the Rockies have used this year. You know, compared to the rest of the National League West, Arizona's used 9 starters, San Francisco 10, San Diego 10, LA 11. Just tells you what it's been like, you know, every 5 days, you know, or an off day, 6 days, and starters are ready to go. Prepared.
I think the trend's probably going to buck at some point, because over the course of a long season, you're going to want to give extra days off. And we understand baseball and the collective bargaining agreement has added more days off. So there's more opportunities. That's why you're seeing teams have 4-man rotations or have these bullpen days. I think the Rockies eventually will throw in a spot start so you can push the starters back a couple days. give them that extra time so they're not eating up so many innings. It's still a big jump for several of these Rockies starters because getting to 200 innings is an old antiquated way of pitching. And the way it's going right now, you'll have multiple guys at over 150 innings. I think they'll try to limit that.
Strike 3 on Batista.
He was clearly in the top of the Subaru strike zone.
You can hang around for a few seconds and then you got to depart, otherwise you risk getting thrown out. Adam Hamari, I think, handled that really well.
Let's Chris catch this right at the top of the mask. Let's see if it comes across at the belt area on the Subaru Supermo. Right above the belt.
This ball is lined to left center field. Parra will throw behind Flores. A 2-out single by Plawecki. 2 on for Reyes. Outside on Reyes. Struck out swinging his first time up. One of 3 strikeouts this afternoon for Freeland. Remember when Reyes wore younger man's shoes? He had some pop in the back. You know, he always have a ton of triples. 17, 17, 19 one year, 16 another year. But he hit as many as 19 home runs in a season.
Well, they had quite the duo there for a while in New York with Reyes and David Wright playing there.
They both basically arrived at the same time. They gave the Mets new life. 2 kids barely out of their teens.
David Wright hasn't officially retired yet, has he?
He's not, no. He hasn't played in a couple of years, though. 3-1. Yeah, he's still in the media guide. A walk, and that'll load up the bases.
Well, Billy, you were talking about some of the walks with the bullpen, and also some of the starters have been giving up a few too many walks.
It's been a pretty incredible stretch of baseball. I mean, I said it about yesterday's game. In the last 2 games, you have 13 walks in 2 games. You shouldn't win those ball games. And over the last, this is before the game started, 160 in 2/3 of an innings pitch, which basically goes back to the middle of May. There's been 80 walks during that time frame, 4.65 walks per 9. And just over the last 18 games from the bullpen, it was over 6 walks per 9. You want to use a defense. You have one of the better defenses in baseball, and free passes always come back to bite you, especially at Coors Field.
So now you have an aggressive guy, Ahmed Rosario, at the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The Rockies up 3 runs. Takes a good rip there. It's 0-1.
We didn't see many pitches. Does Rosario when he's walking to the plate.
This is loop to shallow right. LeMahieu makes the catch.
He bobbled it, but he caught it.
That was a really difficult play because DJ, I think, was also concerned about Ian Desmond. Wow. Deck circle. Look at this play again.
That wasn't easy, Drew. You were spot on with that, saying I think he was a little concerned first running into Ian on the Subaru Supermo, but the big right hand corrals his baseball. Right now you're going, oh no! I got it. Not a problem.
Freeland at the plate takes strike one. Huey, you know, you played all over the infield. When it goes up right where it did, right behind the first baseman on the grass, that's kind of a real difficult area.
Well, and especially with somebody like Ian who's athletic. You know, other guys that are more stay-at-home first baseman,
they turn around and say, you got it.
You got it. So you don't even worry about that. But I think Desi, because he can go back and do that, that's when you start to get worried.
You know, when it's farther out, there's a little cleaner route for a second baseman.
Well, yeah, it's
than where that ball
different
was.
route. It's
yeah.
a different route, so you know you don't have to worry about it. But the one right behind, it's more of a direct route. You know you don't have to worry about the right fielder because he's never going to get there.
2-2 it remains on Freeland. 3 in the first for the Rockies. 3-run home run from Nolan. 2-run double from Nolan in the second. Rockies trying to win their 3rd straight. 1 out, and that'll bring up LeMahieu. He's been on twice, a double, and then reached on a fielder's choice and scored. CenturyLink question for the day. We've got to check that. CenturyLink high-speed challenge. Go to AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter. That's how you vote. Where did you attend your first Rockies game? Was it at Mile High Stadium the first 2 years, 93, 94? Here, of course. Or was your first Rockies game actually somewhere else? Hard shot, and that's through the left side past Frazier.
I think that's going to be a base hit.
Yeah, it was hit so hard. I'm sure it'll be a base hit. He never really got a glove on it, though he was certainly near the baseball because he gave the actions like he was going to field it. Yeah, it came up, didn't it?
Because he immediately looked like it hit something as it goes by him. He'll glance to his right. That's a tough one when your glove's behind your eyes, but he glances as we saw a moment ago on the Subaru Supermo.
Is Isn't it strange watching another third baseman at Coors Field? Like, that's a play that I saw. I was like, oh, Nolan makes that.
Ooh, they just changed it. They just gave him an error. They're going to change that around.
Yeah, they'll change it around. And I think that's what it comes down to. They're so used to seeing Nolan playing here. You go, that's an error. I've seen this third baseman make it all the time.
I also think that you have to contact the baseball before you give an error, right?
I think it hits his glove.
Again, Huey played a long time in the infield, and you could just tell the ball somewhat changed direction based on what he thought. This is blooped to left. That'll be a base hit.
I just think, too, that ball was hit pretty hard. And as an infielder trying to catch the ball as it's by you, that's not easy. And this is roped past Todd Frazier. He just gives a glance like it hit something. It was 104 miles an hour off the bat, and you're 92 feet away, 93 feet away, whatever it is.
So I'm telling you, we're so used to seeing Nolan playing here that you're like, that's an error because our guy makes that play.
And you're probably right. Still up on the scoreboard here, it doesn't list it as an error. They still have it down as a hit.
That's a hit.
Here's another opportunity for Nolan to drive in runs. He's got 5 RBIs this afternoon. One ball, one strike on Nolan. Team lead in RBIs, the National League lead, held by the guy on deck, Trevor Story, with 56. Nolan has driven in 51 now. Nobody in baseball has driven in as many as Arenado the last 3 years, 3+ years. Lefties have no shot. No, I mean, listen, Steven Matt's high quality guy. Lefties, Nolan's hit 424 against him.
And the Rockies this year as a club are 4th off a lefty.
Runners going, and the throw to third, safe. They pull off the double steal. Nolan strikes out.
Double steal, that would be number 4 for DJ, number 5 for Charlie. It's that big right foot into the backside of the bag. Frazier sees it, he's going. Plawecki comes up firing, but Todd has to reach for that baseball. He's in front of the bag, and then DJ goes to the backside on the Subaru Supermo, and then keeps the toe intact with the bag.
That was a called third strike. I was kind of surprised watching Nolan walk off because I thought that ball was in. Here is Trevor with 2 outs. Six strikeouts for Matz. There's that pitch again. Where it is. Yeah, you know what? That was a pretty good pitch.
Not much argument from Nolan.
1-1. Story's last 23 games, a .323 average, 6 home runs, 21 driven in. He's also scored 16 times. Having an all-star first half. This is going to land harmlessly down the right field line.
That was a hanging curveball.
He waited.
Yeah, he did.
Those are balls that you see him drive out of the ballpark over the scoreboard.
It might not have broke as much as he thought it was going to. Even though it was a hanger, just kind of spun up there a little too much.
Anything spinning, you're trying to anticipate where the ball will be. Move that bat through the zone. And this is fair. Long throw.
He's gonna beat it.
They called him out. Let's see. Oh, no, inside. They're going to take a look at that. It was bang, bang at first. That's kind of hanging around. Rockies hanging around. That's out.
It's out.
So the Rockies lead 2 in scoring position. We move on to the 5th. Colorado up 5-2.
To the top of the 5th. Now today, one of the current baseball greats will be playing his 1,000th game. That is Mr. Mike Trout with the Angels. Now, as we've talked about all season long, Trout has put up some ridiculous numbers that not a lot of guys have, except for, yeah, that's right, former Rocky Todd Helton. When you look at OPS, Trout through 999 games has a 989 OPS. Todd Helton, Frank Thomas, Albert Pujols, and Manny Ramirez, the only guys since 1960 to have a higher OPS than Trout. Now, the only way that Trout could beat these guys is in his next 1,000 games. None of those 4 guys that we showed you had an over 1,000 OPS in their second 2,000 games. So if Trout wants to be the greatest ever, I guess that would be a way to do it. Drew?
Yeah, those are remarkable numbers from a remarkable group of hitters. We're going to see Todd this weekend. Looking forward to that. So many others on the top 25. All-time Rockies roster. Steven Matz leading off the 5th inning.
Scheduled to be up here in the booth with us on Saturday.
Yeah, he's going to be up here. Larry Walker at some point is going to be up here. 2-2 on Matz.
We were talking about Mike Trout yesterday up in the booth, and what's amazing is he's on pace to, you know, how we feel about WAR. He's about to have the greatest WAR single season in history, beating Babe Ruth back in 1923 with over 14, which is ridiculous. And during that time frame, guys, especially this year, this is Mike Trout's best season. How many times do you think he's won Player of the Week, American League Player of the Week?
He's never won Player of the Week.
He hasn't won it since 2015. How's that even possible?
I don't know. This is slowly hit to short. Matt's running hard. He can run a little bit. It's like a young Ryan Spilborghs when he came out of UCSB.
Stop it.
Well, there's a contrast this afternoon between the Rockies and Mets when it comes to how they hit lefties. The Rockies are near the top of the chart in Major League Baseball hitting lefties. They're slugging .454. They've hit more home runs, in fact, against left-handed pitching than any other team in the sport. The Mets, conversely, are awful hitting .210 against lefties. An anemically low slugging percentage. Brandon Nimmo at the plate. He takes strike one. He had an RBI single in the third. Deep fly ball his first time up to center. Now Trout, Trout is a once in a generation or so talent. I'm looking forward to seeing the Angels again. The Rockies saw the Angels here. We'll be in Anaheim. What, about a month or so? You can't even keep track.
No, we don't go to Anaheim until the end of August.
Okay, a couple months.
Couple months.
You're right. You like memorize the schedule, dude. I don't even know who we're playing after Miami.
The Giants.
Thank you.
Yeah, we go LA or the Angels for 2 games, then we have a day off before we go to San Diego.
Spilly, you know who Huey is? 1 and 2 on Nimmo. He's the guy that folds his underwear too. It's a ground ball to LeMahieu. 2 outs.
I do.
like a handkerchief type? I mean, like,
No,
where are we talking? Like, like a pocket square?
Who knew that? I mean, has some schedule memorized. You play 162 games.
It's the most random.
I tell you all the time.
No, everything in his life is in order. That's what I mean. He folds his underwear also.
But I can remember all of that. But I said it before. If you send me to the store for 3 things, I'll forget 2 of them.
Except for the folded up underwear.
Oh, 1 on Frazier. Now 0-2 on Frazier.
Can't shake the visuals.
I don't know.
I can't stop laughing.
Now I got handkerchiefs on my mind,
Okay.
and I think that they need to be on Walt Weiss's
Overrated
list. If you have a cold, I don't know how we're going down this. If you have, I mean, wouldn't you rather carry tissues and then throw them out than put that thing back in your pocket?
My dad taught me to have one at all times. So.
My dad was the same way. He's like, why don't you carry a handkerchief? 1 and 2 on Frazier.
I've never seriously thought about a handkerchief. Handkerchiefs are disgusting.
That's what I'm saying. All overrated list. 2 and 2. Somebody somewhere is mad right now that we're not talking about breaking down that 2-1 delivery and talking about handkerchiefs. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Strike 3. We break that down all day. Slider on the back door. A terrific 1-2-3 inning for Freeland. Middle of 5. The Rockies leading the Mets 5-2. Ian Desmond first up when we return. Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Oh, up north, just to the west of Fort Collins, Horsetooth Reservoir. What a great town. It's a pretty good town, too. We're in Lodo. Ian Desmond has walked twice in the ball game, and he has a 1-0 count facing Steven Matz. See if the Rockies can add on here. This is slowly hit. Matz comes up with it, and he'll throw out Desmond. One gone. For those of you that have not memorized our schedule, we want to show you June and July. Somehow I think this is for me.
It is for you and you only.
Yeah, the Marlins are in over the weekend. I knew that, and I did know where we were going next. San Francisco and Los Angeles. Then the Giants come in, and then 3 against Seattle.
In Seattle.
Wait a second. Oh, that's Arizona.
No.
Never mind. Then 3 against the Diamondbacks. Then the Rockies will be in Seattle.
No, you got it backwards.
This is hit in the air to center field. Pretty well hit, but drifting to right center and making the catch is Conforto, and Arenado is retired.
So we go to Seattle first, right after the 4th of July.
Oh, I had him backwards?
You had him backwards.
Okay.
So the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And by the way, Drew, just so you know, on the 7th, that's a Saturday. It's a day game. Okay.
What?
Yeah, then we come home, face Arizona, and then it's a night game, and then it's a late start on the 14th. That's a 7 o'clock game on the 14th, and then a day game right before the All-Star break.
Spilly, I know what I'm buying you for your birthday.
It's not till September.
I'm buying you.
If you give me a handkerchief, I will shove it. I will put it in your mouth. I will stuff it right in your mouth. Like,
I'm gonna buy you multiple handkerchiefs.
Disgusting.
Outside on par, a 1-1. The only useful thing for a handkerchief is if you stuff it in your suit, you know, the pocket, and it's kind of like an accoutrement to your outfit.
Pocket square.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a pocket square.
That's great.
And this is on the ground to second. This is Steven Matz's best inning. He retires the Rockies on 6 pitches. So we move on to the 6th inning. The Rockies up 5-2.
Downtown Mets 2, Nolan 5. The first 15,000 fans through the gates this Saturday will receive a 25th anniversary throwback replica jersey courtesy of King Supers. And this is what it looks like, folks. You get the number 93 on the back. You get the Rockies on the front. Perfect. And extra large, too.
And there's a little pocket here in the side.
No, it's a pretty neat jersey. Feels good, too.
It's the right color, too, for summer.
It is. It's nice
great.
and lightweight.
You will wear this multiple times.
I will. I will. This one's coming home with me, just like the jersey we had the other day, or that undershirt. Perfect.
You pilfered that. This is going to be a base hit up the middle for Conforto, so he's got a 12-game Coors Field hitting streak now. And that'll bring up Wilmer Flores.
Of the 33 innings that these two ball clubs have played so far, it's only 6 times that the Mets have not had a base runner. So 27 out of the 33 innings, they've had a base runner out there.
Flores a ground ball to third and a walk. One strike on Wilmer. Rockies have won back-to-back ball games by the same score, 10-8. And see if this is hit hard enough. Flores not really fast, and they'll turn it over. 5-4-3.
And that was
Third double play turned by the Rockies this afternoon.
Yeah, 78 for the Rockies. This was a great feed from Nolan. This is not hit hard, so Nolan knows the runner's going to be on DJ. He gives DJ the throw to the back of the bag, so now he can clear himself. He doesn't have to worry about anything. It's so nice when a guy gives you that perfect feed. Now I can protect myself as a second baseman.
Here's the 6-time All-Star Jose Bautista, and he takes a strike. .333 career home runs for Bautista. Mid-90s the pitch count for Freeland, so I wonder if he'll go beyond this inning. In fact, Jeff Hoffman has just gotten up and is tossing a baseball. One and two on the former Blue Jay. That barely missed. It had Freeland hopping toward the dugout. It was outside though.
Yep, just probably about a ball off the Subaru strike zone. 1-2. It's enticing, but Bautista didn't bite. And he goes back downstairs on the Subaru strike zone.
So it's 3-2. Bautista's high home run total was back in 2010 when he hit 54. So more than 40 two other occasions. And there's a walk. So Kyle upset with himself. That's 4 walks today, which is not characteristic of Freeland normally.
Ties his season high. He also had 4 walks against Arizona.
Buddy's coming out. I don't think he's got a hook though.
No, not on the jog.
The only way he would is if he looked at Freeland's eyes and said, "How you feeling?" And Freeland gave some indication that he was out of gas. But I can't imagine Freeland feeling that or saying that.
That was let's go moment.
Yeah, the hard slug on the left arm.
Not too hard on that left arm.
Not too hard, but just enough.
Right, yeah.
Just enough to send a message.
Yeah, I think he's saying,
finish
okay,
this.
Finish this. You're at 98 pitches. You're up 5-2. Let's go. Make a pitch.
Kevin Plawecki's at the plate. Inside corner for a strike. Went in there again, 1-1. One and two.
When I played in Japan, I was so excited because I had the opportunity to play first base. And so I always wanted to be part of these mound visits. And so I always want to hear what the manager said to pitchers and stuff because I never get to hear it in the outfield. Imagine my disappointment when I couldn't understand a word that was being said.
But you kept going in there, which we appreciated. This is to third. And Nolan throws out Plawecki. Good job by Freeland finishing off the 6th inning. A hit and a walk, 1 man left. Rockies leading by 3. Thursday afternoon, Drew Goodman with Jeff Houston, Ryan Spilborg's field level, Taylor McGregor as well. Rockies up 5-2, and it'll be Noel Cuevas for the moment. Kyle Freeland's in the on-deck circle.
He's there if Noel gets on, then you can bunt with just a 3-man bench today.
If you're wondering why the Rockies only have a 3-man bench, they made a move before the ball game to help out the pen, which has worked a lot of innings lately and has several guys down because it worked the last 2 days. Their closer Wade Davis, their setup man Adam Ottavino. This ball is lined to center field by Cuevas, but it's caught out there. And see if Murphy will pinch hit as Freeland goes back down. And so the Rockies brought up Yency Almonte to help out the bullpen, and they didn't want to send another pitcher out. It's actually going to be Tony Walters. So they sent down Ryan McMahon, one of the heroes from yesterday. It sounds like the Rockies will make another move tomorrow. It's kind of hinted by Buddy Black. Great day again for Freeland. Maybe not as sharp as we've seen him, but look at the results again. Coors Field, 6 innings, 2 runs.
Pitches when he had to. I think that is the key, because he induced 3 double plays today. He got out of the bases loaded that he had in the 4th inning with 2 outs.
Tony works a 2-0 count. He's had just 1 at bat in the last 6 days. Before you really spill, you never went that long, but you
try not to.
You try not to. You don't want to, but you have to get work inside. How did you?
So you have to take
replicate, because batting practice 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, you have to take batting practice seriously. You also try to get in there whenever there's live BP from one of the pitchers rehabbing. Take those at bats. You go stand in for bullpen sessions to try to slow down the baseball so that when you do come up to the plate, and most importantly, you just want to simplify your swing. You want to walk up and just say, I'm looking for the baseball. I don't care about mechanics.
Low throw. Frazier does get Tony. And there's 2 outs. That's 7 in a row retired now by Matz. DJ is 1 for 3. Doubled back in the first. Shot a ball through the left side that we originally scored as a hit. We scored an error on Frazier in the 4th inning. One has a possibility of getting flipped around, and now Mickey Callaway is going to double switch with the Rockies top of the order coming up with 2 outs in the 6th. Give Matz credit. He hung in there. He actually got stronger as the day evolved. Rockies got their 5 runs in the first 2 innings against him.
Inning with 2 outs. Star Wars night is July 28th, and the only way to get the exclusive Chewbacca shirt is to purchase the Star Wars ticket package at Rockies.com/Star Wars. Always a popular night. Get your ticket.
2 outs. DJ steps in against Tim Peterson. And the fastball's in there for a strike. Taking a look at the numbers on Peterson. Just his 5th appearance.
Yeah, made his major league debut with the Mets a couple innings back on May 30th at Atlanta.
1-1. Jose Bautista came out of the ball game, so Dominic Smith goes into the 9th spot. He'll bat 3rd next inning. One and 2. Peterson 2 scoreless a couple of nights ago for the Mets. Faced DJ, got him to ground to short. And he strikes him out here to end the inning. On to the 7th we go. Colorado 5 and the Mets 2. Here's the Kubota pitching performance. Kyle Freeland made his 15th start today. Ends up going 6 innings, couple runs on 5 hits. Did walk 4, he struck out 4. The Rockies turned 3 double plays behind Kyle. He's in line for his 7th victory. Solid, solid, solid every time out for Kyle Freeland. So Jeff Hoffman has been warming for a good solid inning, and the reason I point that out again is he's making the transition, at least at this point in his career, to working out of the pen. He's always been a starting pitcher, so it takes him a little bit longer. And that's his first pitch is in there, strike 1 to Jose Reyes.
And that's what he was doing down in Albuquerque. He had 11 starts down there, 3 and 4 with a 4.39 ERA.
You know, I look at that 4.39, fellas, down there in Albuquerque, Pacific Coast League. I say that's pretty good.
That's real good. I think anything under a 5 in the PCL, you're saying okay, that's nice.
1-1. And that's just a little bit low.
Jeff's trying to erase the memories of what happened on Monday night. Just a third of an inning with the walks.
Well, Spilly did a piece on this in the open day. Got to pound the zone. The Rockies had a rare ball game last night. They walked 9 guys. 1 was intentional, but still, you walk 8 guys. You don't win very frequently.
Shouldn't. And with the defense behind the Rockies, I mean, it's almost a crime to walk 8. At the same time, I mean, I was talking to some of the Mets players, some of the Rockies guys. It's major leagues. You need to be able to throw strikes, but some felt that the zone was like a postage stamp yesterday.
3-2. And a base hit. So Reyes lines 1 to center field. And that'll bring up Ahmed Rosario. Well, this is not a surprise. It's some information to pass along. After further review, that ball that was hit sharply by LeMahieu a couple of innings ago and initially charged as an error to Frazier has been changed to a base hit. So DJ today is 2 for 4. And the Rockies have 8 hits.
I should have just left it in my book. I could originally put it in there, but I scratched it out and put an E. Now I got to scratch it back out and put a hit.
And Folger on the right.
Somebody tweeted me earlier and said I never fold my underwear. ... My mom does. I think that was Spilly. Actually, you sent that to me. Spilly's wife, Stacy.
Yeah, my wife does it.
Yeah. Well, Yency Almonte's up. Chris Russell on the left side. Again, the Rockies do not have Adam Ottavino today. They don't have Wade Davis.
And Ryan Shaw, I mean, they're down 3 or 4 guys, 3 or 4 bodies out there.
And again, nothing's wrong with them, folks. It's just they worked the last couple of days. In the case of Otto, he got 4 outs 2 days ago.
Yeah, and then had to come back yesterday. But I think it goes to you win those games and you worry about the next day then, you know, with Adam.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is 2-1, and I guarantee you the way Buddy looks at it, Steve Foster and Darren Holmes and certainly Jeff Hoffman, this is an opportunity for Jeff Hoffman. Strike, and the snap throw from Arenado not in time. So
For sure,
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that, and I think Jeff has to look at it that way.
He better, right?
Yeah. And to get back out there so quickly after Monday.
Actually, Scoreboard has it as 2-1. It's 2-2. Dominic Smith on deck. Rosario's hitting 7 straight. And this will be a double play. I didn't think the Rockies could turn that over. Not the way Rosario runs. That is 4 double plays this afternoon by that Gold Glove infield.
Well, we've had 5-4 threes, 2 of those, and now 2 6-4 threes. Trevor is opened up. It's so beautiful to watch the way Trevor drops the left foot, so he clears the hips, gives DJ a good feed, and then that time he can come across the bag.
Everything is fractions of a second, and by cheating open, you say maybe 1/10 of a second, and that's all.
Well, and then what they
so
get
important when a bang bang play occurs at first.
Right, they get Rosario by a 1/10 of a second at first.
Dominic Smith went around. We saw Jeff really good a few times last year in a starting capacity. It's fouled off, 1-2. Bill, you remember a couple of those ball games where he had the dominant fastball and just a vicious curveball.
There's a game in Philadelphia that I swear we could hear the seams of his fastball from the booth above. I mean, the stuff is there. It's electric. It's just being consistent with it.
Here's the 1-2. And that curveball is pulled to right for a base hit. I think that was a bad pitch.
No, he kind of soft served it to right field.
And Buddy with Nimmo coming up. He's going to bring in a left-hander to face Nimmo. And that'll be Chris Russin. 2 outs in the 7th inning. The man aboard, Brandon Nimmo, coming up. Chris Russin will be asked to get that final out in the 7th inning. Russin yesterday pitched in a ball game and did not have good command. Russin ended up facing 3 hitters. He walked 2 and gave up a hit. Brian Shaw got the final out of the inning that Russin was involved in. That was the 5th inning, excuse me, the 6th inning.
And one of those guys that he walked yesterday was the guy coming to the plate right now, and Brandon Nimmo.
Actually, let me correct it. That was 5th inning yesterday.
That's when they hit around in the 5th inning.
Kyle Freeland today threw 102 pitches, 4th straight ball game. Kyle has thrown more than 100. Nimmo today, a single in the 3rd to drive in a run. He's 1 for 3. Yesterday, the bullpen, much maligned bullpen, 4 1/3 of scoreless baseball. Big 0.
Yep. 4 hits too.
And that's a strike. Going 2.
We worked down to Nimmo. 2-seamer running away.
Swung on and missed. Chris Russin on 3 pitches gets Nimmo. And the Mets are done in the 7th. 5-2 Colorado. Well done, Chris.
Rockies with Charlie Blackmon coming to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. We got to talk about Saturday, though. Really exciting weekend ahead for everyone in the Rockies in Denver to relive the 25th anniversary celebration of the Rocks. A lot of the all-time greats will be in attendance, or are expected to be. Pedro Estacio, Ellis Burks, Vinny Castilla, of course, Aaron Cook, Jeff Francis, Todd Helton, Houston Street, Yorvi Torrealba, Larry Walker, and then, of course, the guys currently playing on the team who are also a part of the all-time top 25 will be here. You can come down, get your photo made with the players before the game on Saturday, and also watch batting practice. So those names are the guys who are on the all-time top 25 list, but there are expected to be other alumni in the house. We don't have an exact list of who that will be, but I'm sure it'll be some fun faces to see. Drew?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. Good times for the fans to be able to see some of the stars from just a few years back. 2 strikes, Peterson to Charlie. Travis filleted foul. There's a couple of guys in particular that I haven't seen in a while that I'm looking forward to. We've seen Yorvit a couple times the last year. It's always great to see Yorvit.
Yeah.
He brightens up any room
Brings
he's
a smile
in.
to your face.
Haven't seen Houston Street in a couple seasons, and
No.
that'll be enjoyable.
I can't wait to see Streeter.
It's his home, as he has forever, down in Austin. A lot of good baseball players hanging out in Austin, Texas, huh?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, there's a lot. Jake Arrieta, Houston Street.
Matt Holliday used to live in Austin.
Yeah, Matt's lived in like 15 different places now. He's in Jupiter, Florida now.
Kevin Millar lives in Austin. Intentional talk.
Drew Stubbs, former Rockies outfielder, lives in Austin. Good golfer.
I think he's gotten in better shape since he's
Drew Stubbs
retired, yeah.
or Houston Street, because
Yeah,
I can confirm
Stubbs.
Street. Not in better shape.
This ball's hit hard, but right to Reyes.
Not in better shape.
Not in better shape. Stubbs, it'd be impossible for him to get in better shape.
It's been the Nolan show today. Should say New York Mets 2, Nolan 5 instead of the Rockies. They started with the home run that traveled 387 feet in the first inning, and then in the ringing double off the wall in the second inning. There's your 5 RBIs.
The Rockies have not had a base runner since Charlie had that hit in the 4th inning. 9 straight retired. Do a little more damage here late, make this more comfortable. 1 out in the 7th. And Nolan works underneath this. Rosario, wait, the way he reacted late, I thought he lost the ball in the sun.
Gets the best fireworks show in town this summer on July 3rd, courtesy of Lockheed Martin, and then again on July 4th, courtesy of Coca-Cola and King Soopers, following the game against the San Francisco Giants. Those aren't the exact fireworks, those are from last year, so they're saving all theirs for July 3rd and 4th this year.
It's going too fast for me. It would be remiss, I think, if we had the whole week go by and we didn't mention the guy on the 40-man roster for the Mets who has some ties to Denver. Tim Tebow, playing in Double-A Binghamton. 60 games there since being elevated, hitting .246 with 4 home runs. Doubles also. I'll be honest, he is, for a guy that hadn't played since high school, he's done a lot better than I thought he would do. It's not a knock on Tebow. We know he's a great athlete, but that's hard to do.
Well, just look at, Michael Jordan. Same thing.
Terry Francona, I don't know if you ever saw the 30 for 30 on Jordan playing baseball, but Terry Francona, who remains really close with Michael Jordan and managed him when he was with Birmingham, he felt like if he had, and this wasn't going to happen, but just dedicated himself from that point forward to baseball, that he would have eventually gotten to the big leagues. Peterson strikes out Story. It's a 1-2-3-7. 11 in a row set down by the Mets staff. Rockies still lead by 3. AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And that is the majesty of the Rocky Mountains. Do you want to pitch a tent? Take a nap, huh?
Yep. Go fishing.
Go fishing.
Some hiking.
Hiking. Go cookout. It is a gorgeous day as well for a Rockies game. Todd Frazier in the top of the 8th inning. Chris Russin on the mound. Got the final out of the 7th.
On 3 pitches to strike out Brandon Nimmo.
Frazier hit a solo home run in the 1st. That's we're up 1-0 briefly because Nolan came back with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 1st. Frazier has the distinction, like actually many more than you might think, of having played for both the Yankees and the Mets. A long list of those guys. 2-1. Yankees, by the way, won today 4-3. Aaron Judge hit another home run. The Yankees against the other 3 presumed playoff teams, or at least playoff teams at this point, because that's a base hit, in the American League are 19-6.
And also the 2nd team to reach 50 wins this year, Houston being the other.
Jose Altuve, who's leading baseball and hitting, hit a couple of home runs yesterday. Love watching him play. The Rockies will play Houston a little later on in the summer. Huey, when will that be?
That's after the series, the first time playing after the series against Arizona after the All-Star break.
Billy, you know what?
It's a Tuesday, Wednesday here.
Thank you. Billy, that reminds me of a guy who folds his underwear.
It really does. It's getting kind of warm down here.
You've changed outfits.
You had a
losing some steam over here.
You are. Water.
1 ball, 1 strike on Conforto.
You look like you're in the Sahara Desert. It's a mirage.
There's a pool right over there, right by where Nolan is. I think I might go jump into it.
Dive in. Don't go head first, though. 2-1 on Conforto. You know, Conforto is one of 3 major leaguers all time to have appeared in the Little League World Series, the College World Series, and the Major League World Series. Jason Varitek, the former Georgia Tech star, and Ed Vosberg, the other 2. 2-1.
Vosberg went to ASU. He appeared with the Sun Devils. He had a great pickoff move. Ed Vosberg. Oh my goodness. Talk about.
Did he get you?
Yeah. And it wasn't because I fell asleep. It was because he totally got me.
2-2. Frazier at first appeared in the Little League World Series.
A few guys have. Remember Lloyd McClendon did? Appeared in the Little League World Series.
Lloyd McClendon, they just stopped pitching to him in the Little League World Series. Didn't he hit like, wasn't he like 5 for 5 with 5 home runs in a game? Something silly like that.
Except for the Gary, Indiana Little League.
I think you're right. I think Frazier went with Tom's River. This is a base hit to left center for Conforto, and Frazier is going to go first to third. And now the tying run's going to come up with nobody out in Wilmer Flores.
Well, whatever slump Conforto was in before he arrived at Coors Field, that is erased now. He's 2 for 4 today. That's kind of sound like a broken record, that the mistakes that are being made, they're getting hit because they're elevated.
Nobody out in the 8th inning. 5-2 Colorado. Three-run lead late. They don't have Adam Ottavino because he's worked the last couple of days. No Wade Davis. So Yency Almonte will make his major league debut. And Buddy Black counseling the youngster who turned 24 just 2 weeks ago. He has been a starting pitcher throughout his minor league career. 109 games in the minor leagues for the Miami native. 101 starts. This is a baseball kid. He grew up in a baseball family. His dad, Ramon, owns a baseball academy down in South Florida. In fact, Yency works there during the offseason.
And so does his brother. His brother reached AAA level, but he's down there helping his dad out. Now he's making his major league debut. In the tough spot.
Talk about being thrown into the fire. First and third. Nobody out. His club is up 3 runs, and his first major league pitch humps through at 96. Flores swings and misses.
That's how you announce your presence with authority. Right after it.
And that's fouled off. Another 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Almonte, a big arm, and he's got an outstanding slider by reputation. He goes fastball again. It's another tick on the fastball at 97.
Yeah, first to 96 and dials it up to 97. Trying to control the breathing out on the mound. Major league debut.
You got an old sage back there helping him out, Chris Arenado. Rockies have Tyler Anderson, his bullpen day.
All hands on deck today. We saw a picture of him on earlier.
0-2, and that is wasted. All fastballs so far. Almonte last year began the year in Hartford. 14 starts there, fellas. A 2 ERA, 2 flat. 76+ innings. He allowed only 58 hits.
That's 71 strikeouts.
Way inside. Trying to throw the slider for the first time there. Is into right center field. This will get the run home. Cuevas will make the catch. Sac fly, it's 5-3 as Frazier scores. Flores with his 17th RBI. One charged to Chris Russin. Devin Mesoraco is going to pinch hit here. This is the pitcher spot after the double switch a couple of innings back.
Mesoraco has the most power of anybody that's left on the bench for the Mets.
You know, the one thing that's curious here, remember the hand was injured, you referenced it earlier with Cabrera last night. He stayed in the game. He has a dozen home runs. Switch hitter,
yep.
Not called upon here against the righty.
He went.
He had to go.
Oh.
No. Wow. 2-0. Mesoraco taking the whole way. 2-1.
It's a little unusual for a pinch hitter to be taken the whole way.
Well, he tried to ambush him, especially 2-0. Took a home run cut, no baseball. Another 97-mile-an-hour heater. It's 2-2.
First two were inside, then he made the correction.
Got a little run on it too, huh?
Well, and that is a good pitch that's up.
To third, see if the Rockies can twist their 5th of the day. They do. 5 double plays. Yency Almonte, welcome to the big leagues. Job well done. Rockies lead at 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. This afternoon's attendance is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. And another huge crowd, 44,010 on this Thursday afternoon. And the Rockies have tied their all-time team record for the 6th time with this 5-4-3 double play. It's their 5th, which is, again, a club record for a 9-inning game.
Yeah, their most they've ever turned is 6 double plays. That was an 11-inning game, but the last time they did it in 9 was 2010 at Kansas City. Paul Sewald, the new pitcher for the Mets. And what a debut for that young man.
How pumped is he?
Should be.
And he ought to be. Everybody giving him high fives and hugs.
And then the great thing about it too is he came and he attacked with the fastball. It did seem like, oh, I'm scared. I gotta worry about this. No, he went right after the hitters.
Ian Desmond, 2 walks and a comebacker, so officially 0 for 1. Rockies have not had a base runner since the 4th inning. Have to get that run back here in the bottom of the 8th. Jake McGee is now up. It'll be up to him to close things today. And Tyler Anderson is still throwing. Now, I don't know if that's to necessarily come in the game or maybe just to complete his bullpen.
I think it's now just to complete his bullpen.
3-1 on Desi.
But I do think he was getting loose depending on what the Mets decided to do or who they were going to send up. He was going to be ready.
Three and 2 on Desmond. Inside.
Hey,
and
look at that.
Back-to-back ball games. In back-to-back ball games. Ian Desmond has walked 3 times.
Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Sign that at the plate. Chris 0 for 3. .115 to the plate there for Sewald. That's a tough number to run against.
26th ball game of the year for Sewald. Fastball around 90, 91, change-up, slider. It's right-handers. Sewald, fastball, slider.
Threw a slider there for a strike. That was 1-2-4 to the plate.
I'm watching Desmond creeping. You can tell he wants to go if he can get a good read.
He takes off.
That was a hit and run.
That was a hit and run. Yep.
You'd see the path that Chris was trying to take to that baseball. The right idea. Desi took off, and then Chris was helped with the ball away, and he was trying to shoot it to right field.
And a base hit for Arenado. And Desi's now going to pick it up and head to third. That's just great base running. Desi sort of deked Dominic Smith, the young left fielder, who's more of a first baseman.
Yeah, he's only had 2 starts, and that's both starts in the outfield at the major league level have come in this series. And Chris, I think, was helped out by that missed hit and run, because now he's thinking, I got to still stay inside, and really pulled his hands close to his body. And then Dominic Smith, who went in a double switch, tried to make this throw on the run, didn't set his feet. Desi, he's running. Okay, I got it. I'm not going to go. Oh, yes, I am. Just he didn't even have to slide.
You know, that subtle little slow down a little bit. And it's first and third, nobody out as the Rockies try to add on up 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Pitching change coming. for more. First and third in the 8th, nobody out. Gerardo Parra coming up. Who wants tacos? Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies eclipse the 7-run mark. So Parra will face the lone lefty in the bullpen for the Mets, Jerry Blevins. It's the first appearance in the series for Blevins. And Parra hits his ball to deep center field. Desmond tagging, cruising home with the Rockies' 6th run. Parra yet again in an RBI situation delivering.
But he's also immediately going to go to Desi when they get in that dugout and kind of give him a hug, because thanks for going to third base, making my job easier. I can take that curveball and I can hit a sac fly.
That's a nuance of being able to watch another outfielder too. I mean, Desi did slow play him, but you're watching a left-handed outfielder take a poor route to get around the ball of Dominic Smith. It's 90 feet. 90 feet have to be precious to you at all times.
Boy, I love that statement, Spilly. I say that all the time to young players. Man, you cannot give away 90 feet. Defensively, you can't give it away, and every time you get the opportunity to take 90 feet offensively, it's huge.
Even think about the top of the 8th inning with Charlie's play. After the base hit by Conforto to left center field, instead of trying to make the throw and get Todd Frazier at third, he threw to second base to keep the double play in order.
And ultimately it paid off.
Right.
Because the Rockies got a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play for the kid Almonte. 2-0 on Noel Cuevas. Single in the 2nd. Ground out and a line shot to center field that was caught. Arenado at first. Breaking balls in there for a strike. 2-1. Six runs, 9 hits for the Rockies. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Mets. This ball is drilled but foul. Billy, how many times in your career, you get a pitch on the inner half hanging up there, you open the hips, you know you're going to hit it foul, but it's going to feel good because you're going to hit it really hard though.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Maybe it scares the pitcher, but most of the time they come right back in and there you go. Try it again.
Evans will check on Arenado. He's a lot like Ricky Henderson, but different.
Yeah. They both take off from first base.
They both hit right-handed.
And that's where it ends.
Car goes on deck in the pitcher spot. And Cuevas goes down. So 2 outs. A run in for the Rockies here in the 8th. Cargo will take his turn. Pinch hitting capacity.
Well, you do have Tom Murphy if you want to go that, but the reverse splits for Jerry Blevins against left-handers and right-handers. Right-handers hitting 130 off at Jerry. Left-handers are hitting 342. The kid from Dayton, the Dayton Flyer, Jerry Blevins, has carved out a pretty nice career over 8 years now in the major leagues for the Flyer.
One other factor also, Walters was used, so if there was some sort of mishap in the 9th inning with Chris Arenado behind the plate, you still have Tom Murphy who could go in. Here's the 1-0. Argo's got the average at 271. 2 balls and a strike. Rockies will see a couple left-handers against Miami this weekend.
When Bud said that was a little bit of the reasoning when they sent Ryan McMahon down too. But he'd been changing some things. He needed to get regular at bats, and it probably wasn't going to happen with some of the lefties that they're going to be facing.
3-1. Slow hook from the Dayton Flyer, Jerry Blevins. Dougie pays us under the table whenever we throw in his alma mater.
Well, and he was picked in the 17th round out of Dayton. That's 4 mentions of Dayton.
Dougie has 2 guys on his fantasy team, Blevins and Craig Stammen. And Cargo walks. And that'll bring up DJ with 2 on.
Bring Mickey Callaway out of the dugout.
Rockies trying to win their 3rd straight. Yency Almonte made his major league debut, did a beautiful job in the top of the 8th inning. And now the Rockies with 2 outs have DJ at the plate, 2 on. Chris Flexen, been up and down this year. His first pitch misses, ball 1. Southern California kid, 14th round pick a few years ago out of high school. Flexen signed and turned down scholarship to Arizona State. Here's the 1-0 outside, 2-0 from Flexen. Last year he made 14 appearances with the Mets, 5 out of the bullpen. He also got 9 starts.
There's 4 and 6. 5.43 ERA.
2-0. DJ, a double in the first and a run scored. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second and scored on a double by Nolan. Had a base hit in the 4th. Part of a double steal. Rockies did not score in that 4th inning. Struck out in the 6th. So a 2 for 4 afternoon, trying to make it 3 for 5. And this ball's pretty well hit to right, but Nimmo will have a play. And we'll go to the 9th inning. The Rockies get a run. Desmond comes around on a sac fly by Parra.
As we enter the top of the ninth, we're getting ready for the Toyota post-game show out in center field with Corey Sullivan. I'm Jenny Kavnar. Good to see Nolan Arenado has locked down how to hit home runs in the first inning this year.
You know what? Third straight game with a homer on the homestand. He's hitting .412. He's got 9 RBI. Guy's ridiculous. And we've heard Bud Black say, use the defense. It's one of the best ones we've seen. Guess what? 5 double plays. That's pretty good.
Yeah, really good. Plenty to talk about coming up on the show. Guys, we'll send it back to you for now.
All right, Jenny, Corey, thank you. And Jake McGee will be asked to get his first save of the year. Not foreign territory for Jake. He had 3 last year. He's got 44 in his career when you go back to his work in Tampa.
Yeah, and for Jake, it's got a bit up and down this month as far as what he's done, but in 11 appearances, he has not been scored upon in 7 of those. Looking to close this one out, and it's nice to get a little insurance run with that sac fly last inning, give him a little bit of cushion. I know Jake's looking to go out there and finish this off 1, 2, 3 like he did last night. He had 1 clean inning, had a strikeout, just 11 pitches for Jake, 9 for strikes.
Plawecki, the catcher's up. Base hit in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. He's hit into a double play today. Virtually every guy in the Mets roster's hit into a double play at some point this afternoon. I exaggerate only slightly. 5 double plays.
Yeah, 3 of them were 5-4-3s. The other 2 6-4-3s.
First pitch strike to Plawecki. Mets early in the season lost their starting catcher Travis d'Arnaud. One of the reasons they went out and got Devin Mesoraco. That's a strike, 1 and 2.
Tommy John d'Arnaud.
One and 2. Good pitch.
There's some players you feel bad for because they have such a run of injuries. Travis d'Arnaud ranks right up there in injuries. Wrist injury, now Tommy John.
Yeah, he's had a tough ride. That's right in the same spot. I mean, you figure you get one of those 2, right?
I mean, those are both right at the knees, both pitchers' pitches.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get one of these 2. I always say this, you teach pitchers more often than not to throw down in the zone, work down, down, down. And you got to get rewarded for that. This ball's well hit left center field, and this one is off the base of the wall. And Blackman's going to throw it in. It's going to be a triple for Plawecki. I don't know if Gerardo saw the baseball. I think he may have thought it was out.
Well, some wind has picked up from center field blowing in, but you're right, it kind of stopped going after it.
Yeah, he gave up on it. He thought this was going to be a home run on the Subaru Supermo. 3-2 fastball down the middle. And Gerardo just slows down.
It's the first triple of the Rockies' career. Arenado just stopped running after it, and it goes off the wall, but Charlie was there to pick him up.
One strike on Jose Reyes. Thankful the Rockies got that additional run at the bottom of the 8th inning, as this will get 1 run home. And it's 6-4. Reyes an RBI ground out. 1 out in the 9th. That'll bring up Rosario, the shortstop. One for 3 this afternoon for Rosario. 7-game hitting streak going. Kyle Freeland on the plus side this afternoon. On a miss. That's a 94. He got it by him. Rockies and the Houston Astros, the only 2 teams in Major League Baseball this year to use the same starting 5. Rotation all year. In fact, the Rockies have used only 8 starters the last 2 years, which is the fewest in baseball. In fact, there's only 2 other teams that have used less than 10. The Pirates and Cleveland Indians have used 9. It's a gang that hangs out together. There's the 1-1 fouled off. 1 and 2.
The fewest number of starters the Rockies have ever used in a season is 6. Left 4 times, last time being 2009.
On their way to 92 victories, a high water mark in franchise history. Closer on that team will be here this weekend. Houston Street, that's fouled off. Here's a quick note on the Mets. They're going to work in the Mets. Check this out. They have only 9 games left outside the Eastern time zone the rest of the season.
That's it?
That's it.
One more West Coast trip, I'm assuming.
We have 1 more West Coast trip. This is in the air to Cuevas and right. 2 outs. Let's take a look at the pitching matchups for this weekend series against Miami. Wei-Yin Chen, the former Baltimore Oriole, from the left side against John Gray. That's tomorrow night. And then Saturday afternoon is Trevor Richards, a righty, against Tyler Anderson. And then the lefty Caleb Smith against German Marquez on Sunday. A very important note for those of you that will be watching at home on Saturday. We're going to have a special 1-hour pregame show on the field right here on AT&T Sportsnet, because that is going to be, it's part of top 25 weekend, silver anniversary weekend for the Rockies. There's going to be on the field batting practice for all the guys in attendance, and a lot of festivities. If you're coming to the park, get here early.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that.
You want to see their batting practice.
I think Spilly's throwing.
Yeah, that's right.
Spilly's going to be on the bump, feeding home runs, hopefully. And we'll have a 1-hour special edition with Jenny and Corey and the whole gang. Here's the 0-2 on Smith outside, 1 and 2. For Colorado. 5th pitcher today is Jake McGee, fouled off. Second at bat for Smith, came in a double switch in left field. He singled his first time up. That was in the 7th inning.
Right now, just the last 2 guys have missed 3 pitches. Chris thought this one was strike 3, shake hands.
And That's going to be a base hit. In fact, it's a tweener. And Dominic Smith goes to second. So a 2-out double. And now the tying run coming up. And Brandon Nimmo.
Well, nothing's been easy lately. Right back out there again. That's a slick piece of hitting from Dominic Smith. And the trips at first base. And I don't think he would have gone for 3, but he hits the outside corner of the bag instead of the inside corner on the Subaru Supermo.
And a strike off the plate. Could have used that one 2 pitches ago. Could be shaking hands right now. 0-1 on Nimmo. Single and an RBI back in the third. 1 for 4. And that poured over the lower portion of the plate at 95. It is 0-2.
Jake got Brandon last night on a ground out in the 7th. I'll take a strikeout right now.
Here's the 0-2. He's got it. Ball game over. He dialed up 97. And the Rockies, for the first time in nearly a month, have won 3 straight. The final score 6-4 Colorado. They also snapped that Major League record 9 consecutive home games, allowing 8+ runs. Kyle Freeland gets the win. He improves to 7-6. Steven Matz the loss. He's 3-5. 45th career save for Jake McGee, first this year. The Rockies got a ton of contributions today. Offensively, Nolan Arenado was the hitting star, but Yency Almonte with an inning of relief. And in his major league debut, he was terrific. Plenty for the gang in center field to talk about. We get you there now. Here's Jen.
All right, thanks so much. Rockies owning the Mets this season. Season series done. They've won 6 out of 7 against New York, and some confidence with 3 in a row.
Yeah, that's a good win right there. Plus, you got a team like the Marlins coming into town. You got to beat your bunnies. But great job by Nolan. He continues to stay hot. Kyle Freeland set the tone. Even though he gave up the homer, they played great defense, too.
You'll hear from your favorite Rockies in the clubhouse as well. It's coming up on the Toyota Postgame Show.